Good evening, greetings to everyone, and you are welcome once more to the JMA Connections. This is what I call the late edition, the late edition, the late evening news flash on this platform. And today is still Monday, the 17th of November, 2025. And so a lot of things are happening, things are going very fast. In my last broadcast, I was talking about the appointment of Alice Nkom as the spokesperson for Issa Tchiroma Bakari, president-elect of the Republic of Cameroon. And of course, while that appointment was being mooted, while things were being cooked for that decree to be signed, and that's the first decree signed by Issa Tchiroma Bakari since becoming president-elect of the Republic of Cameroon. And don't forget, I've said that there are two presidents for Cameroon now, one enjoying legitimacy and the other enjoying, and the other still laying claims to legality. So we've talked about that quite elaborately. So Issa Chiroma Bakari, while he was working on the decree to appoint Alice Nkom as the spokesperson for his administration, of course, Alice Nkom was actually already on the field in Douala, in Cameroon, doing exactly what she knows how to do best. I guess no one has forgotten that the chief deputy mayor of the Douala 5 Council, the Douala 5 Council, was summoned. His name is Espoir Biyong. Espoir Biyong was summoned by the senior divisional officer of the Wouri in Douala, and that summons followed a lot of declarations by this young man on television platforms. He was on Equinox Television and on other platforms where he made clear to everyone that he is well aware that Paul Biya lost the October 12th presidential election, and reiterating clearly that Issa Chiroma Bakari won the election, and it is about time that people stop this whole nonsense of electoral banditry in Cameroon and begin to respect the people and respect the will of the people as expressed at the polls. And he made clear that the rigging was so flagrant that it even defeated the entire purpose of an election. And he said it was time people get bold enough to speak up, say the truth, say things as they are for the betterment of the entire country. And of course, those are not the kinds of declarations that you will think that anyone involved in the BIA system would take lying down. And so, of course, at the behest of Paul Atanganji, Mr. Blender, Mr. Moulinex, Mr. Sepang Afame, and he obviously gave the instructions for this gentleman, Espoir Biyong, to be summoned by the senior divisional officer for the Wouri. And of course, we know in other places, those senior divisional officers have summoned people and eventually went ahead to, get them detained for 15 days renewable, because that is some, abusive, some extraordinary power given to the senior divisional officers or given to the civil administrators, and a lot of the time they have abused this power. And so therefore, when Espoir Biyong was to show up for his appointment on this Monday, the 17th of November, strong woman Alice Nkom had federated a school of lawyers, or should I say a college of lawyers, many of them. They decided to, provide their services pro bono to say to Espoir Biyong by accompanying him to the senior divisional officer's office, and to make sure that whatever the circumstances, he will have due process. And of course, these lawyers were conducted by Alice Nkom herself. Alice Nkom, don't forget, was the first female lawyer in the Republic of Cameroon, the first female lawyer in the Republic of Cameroon. So she's not just aged, she's not just gray, but she's gray with a lot of wisdom, with a lot of understanding of that system within which she operates. And I think that is the more reason Issa Tchiroma Bakari, despite her age, because she's 83 years old, so Issa Tchiroma Bakari would have gone for some younger person, but he defied her age and went for her. I'm going to come back on this particular issue of Alice Nkom's age and her ability to do the job that she has been picked for in another broadcast on this Tuesday, November 18. But that said, so it came to pass that Espoir Biyong was accompanied to the SDO's office with this battery of lawyers. And when he got there, there was the intimidating presence of about all the heads of security services in the Wouri. I mean, from the Semil to the gendarmerie, the police, the special branch, the GPing, the GPIG, the everything. All of them were there. I mean, such an intimidating presence. But what actually happened there? Let's listen to the gentleman himself, because of course, given the way he appeared, he was let go.
On a échangé, il y avait tout l'état-major, il y avait le procureur de la République, il y avait le commandant de groupement, il y avait la surveillance du territoire, il y avait les renseignements généraux, bref, il y avait l'état-major. En réalité, je ne veux pas dire que ce n'est pas la même chose, parce que je ne sais pas si ça a changé entre-temps, mais je peux vous rassurer qu'une fois dedans, on n'a même pas fait allusion à ce qu'on soupçonnait être mes sorties ou le préfet m'a demandé pourquoi je n'ai pas appelé au travail à la mairie. Je lui ai dit que je partais au travail, que tout le monde peut assurer que je pars au travail, qu'il y a même les caméras à la mairie, que voilà. Si on regarde les caméras de la mairie, on va voir que je partais effectivement à la mairie et que j'ai même fait une émission dans mon bureau dimanche, donc voilà. Ça peut te prouver, et qu'il y a même les militaires qui sont rentrés à la mairie, quand j'entre dans ma voiture, ils filment, donc tout le monde peut voir que je pars au travail. Et le préfet m'a demandé, il se pourrait, en fait on lui a rapporté qu'il y a un couple que je devais célébrer le mariage, je n'étais pas là, ils sont restés plantés et tout le reste. J'ai dit ce n'est pas vrai. On n'a jamais programmé un mariage pour que je célèbre. Au contraire, c'est le maire de Douala 5e qui ne me programmait plus. C'est pour ça que je ne suis pas venu. Et que s'il m'avait programmé, je serais là. La mairie peut le témoigner. Je lui ai dit, appelez même le bureau de l'état civil. Le maire ne m'a pas programmé un mariage et j'ai refusé d'aller célébrer. Si, c'est lui qui programme les mariages. Les mariés peuvent choisir le maire qu'ils veulent. Mais si le maire principal ne vous met pas dans le calendrier, vous ne pouvez pas célébrer parce que l'état civil rend compte directement au maire. Et on m'a dit, le préfet m'a dit, je dois savoir que je suis une autorité, je suis un élu, je ne suis pas comme n'importe qui, je dois avoir de la tenue, que les choses que je dis peuvent avoir des inconvénients parce que ce que les autres vont suivre après une... moi j'ai mes mots que je dis, j'ai le sens que je les donne, mais après, qui voulait que je sache que je dois avoir de la rectitude parce que je suis une autorité, je suis jeune, on va avoir le Cameroun si demain, il ne faut pas que je... Voilà, des conseils dans ce sens-là. Et je lui dis, monsieur le préfet, je suis un patriote, j'aime mon pays et mon souhait c'est que les choses deviennent transparentes, que les choses aillent, soient vérifiables, qu'on puisse le... Voilà, le préfet, bref. On a échangé, il y avait tout l'état-major, il y avait le procureur de la République, il y avait le commandant de groupement, il y avait la surveillance du territoire, il y avait les renseignements généraux, bref, il y avait l'état-major. On a échangé, il y avait tout l'état-major, il y avait le procureur de la République, il y avait le commandant de groupement.
So you got this gentleman. He is very clear. That is the chief deputy mayor himself talking there after attending to the summons from the senior divisional officer of the Wouri. And so a quick summary for those of us who do not speak or understand French. He is making very clear that when he got to the SDO's office, he was expecting that they were going to talk to him about the comments he made on the various television platforms regarding concerning the elections of October 12th and the fact that Issa Tchiroma Bakari won the election handily, and so it made a lot of sense for the will of the people to be respected. But he was surprised that throughout the conversation they had there with the SDO, who was really surrounded. Like I said earlier, he's pointing out that the SDO was not alone. He was with, in fact, all the security operatives in the region were represented alongside with the state council. So when you hear that the state council was there, was like, if we say, okay, we are getting him arrested, we are getting Sada. So, I mean, it turned out the SDO said, no, he just called him for a mere conversation, just to ask him a few questions. And the questions that the SDO settled down to ask him was just to find out why he was no longer going to work at the Douala 5 Council. Of course, a question he rebutted very clearly and even reminded the SDO that he produced, a program that he participated on the television program from his office. On Sunday the 16th of November. So there's no way anyone could say he was not at work. And he said at the same time, the SDO also faulted him that there was, a marriage that he had to, conduct, a wedding that he had to conduct, and he was not there to, preside over that ceremony, and the couple was left stranded. And of course, the young man defended himself by reiterating that no such thing ever happened, because normally those kind of those couples can decide which of the mayors or deputy mayors they want to celebrate their marriages, but at the end of the day, it is incumbent on the mayor, the titular mayor, to designate or to authorize. And so he never had any such occasion, and referred the senior divisional officer to the office in charge of marriage registry, to go there, find out from there, and he will be ascertained that no such thing ever happened. And then he said, on top of that, the SDO reminded him that he should know that he is an elected official, that as an elected official, he should have some kind of restraint with the kind of things he says, because whatever he says, his words will matter. His words carry weight. And so therefore, he should be mindful of the kind of things he says, and of course, he should actually exercise some degree of restraint. Of course, you and I understand that this is actually why the SDO was summoning this gentleman. Because how do you tell me that a senior divisional officer will summon, an assistant mayor and get himself surrounded with the entire security operative of, of the city, along with the state council and all of those, just to ask him why he was not going to work, just to find out from him why he failed to celebrate a marriage, or just to remind him that he's a public official and so he should exercise some degree of restraint? Truth is, the real thing that had to be done on this gentleman was aborted abruptly, because when the SDO saw how he arrived, it showed him that he came with a group ready for war. So he knew, the SDO knew there was going to be trouble. This SDO had an encounter in the past with Nkom. So when he saw Nkom come in with this gentleman, with a battery of lawyers, he understood that there was no way they could move ahead with the plan, which was to intimidate, to arrest, and to get this gentleman detained for at least 15 days renewable, simply because he expressed himself, simply because he said what he said. And the young man says that he took his time and reminded the SDO that he was a patriot, loves his country, that he's a patriot, he likes his country, and he believes that the time has come for everything to be done according to the norms, and there should be absolute transparency in whatever is being done for the betterment of the country. And so, Nkom, like I said, was right at that office at the time her appointment was, being prepared. And by the time her appointment as the spokesperson for Issa Tchiroma Bakari, president-elect of the Republic of Cameroon, was announced, she had just finished granting this interview. Hear her.
Ce n'était pas une convocation normale du préfet au maire. Sinon, toutes ces personnes chargées de la sécurité étaient là. Pourquoi? Question. Alors, à partir de ce moment-là, nous avons ressenti la même chose, parce qu'effectivement, monsieur le maire n'a jamais été convoqué par le préfet. Vous pouvez l'appeler, vous pouvez lui dire on peut se voir, passer me voir. Pas de problème. C'est lui qui a fait en sorte qu'on éveille nos soupçons Parce que nous connaissons les méthodes traditionnelles de fonctionnement de notre administration par rapport aux administrés. Nous savons qu'ils n'ont que la force à opposer. Et nous connaissons le contexte de l'après 12 octobre 2025. Alors, ce monsieur le maire s'est prononcé, comme tout le monde, sur le fait que c'est Tchiroma qui avait gagné les élections. Et tout ça, ça pouvait lui coûter la liberté. Hein. Ça a coûté la liberté à beaucoup de gens. Tout simplement parce qu'on a dit que Issa a gagné. Donc c'est pour ça qu'on a été...
Vous avez pris les devants?
Oui, on a été obligé de prendre un certain nombre de mesures préventives en l'accompagnant ici. Et le préfet, je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé, mais il est venu le chercher dans la salle d'attente. On a dit qu'on n'avait pas besoin de nous, encore qu'on n'est pas là pour qu'on ait besoin de nous. On est là parce que vous avez convoqué un client. Que vous avez le pouvoir de le mettre en garde à vue administrative pendant 15 jours, en violation flagrante de ses droits fondamentaux. C'est pour ça qu'on est là. Parce qu'on vous connaît. Ce n'était pas une...
So you see, Alice Nkom, so before, while her appointment was being prepared, she was already on the field doing exactly the kind of courageous things that she is known for. She was already on the field demonstrating exactly why she deserves such an appointment. Because Alice Nkom will always be Alice Nkom. That kind of person that is fearless, that kind of person that is courageous, that kind of person that doesn't run away from fights. She faces them, she resists them, and that kind of person who doesn't have her tongue in her mouth. She doesn't keep her tongue in her tummy. She says what she thinks, she says it as it is, and she says it to whoever needs to hear. So in this excerpt, Alice Nkom is letting us know that, of course, she knows that the plan that the SDO had for the young mayor, Espoir Biyong, was aborted because he saw her and saw the people she came with. So she says when the senior divisional officer came to the wait room to call in the Espoir Biyong, he met them. Of course, this is interesting that the mayor had to, the SDO had to displace himself to go to the waiting room himself and call in the young man. Usually that happens when they are going to meet a personality of equal rank or someone greater than them. But in this case, he did that because of the circumstances. The circumstances warranted that he does that because he knew that if he sent someone inside there, he would have started with confrontation because of the presence of Alice Nkom and all the other lawyers that were present. And so she says when he showed up, he said, oh no, he just came to call in the young man. They didn't need Alice Nkom and the others. If they wanted them to come in, they should have indicated. But she said her thought was simply, no, we are here because you created the suspicion, the environment for us to feel the need to come here. We don't care for that you felt that we needed to come or we didn't need to come. And she told him that, we know your operational mode. We know that you have the power to detain him for 15 days renewable in total violation of his personal and individual rights. And so therefore we came here, to prevent that. We came here preemptively to ensure that that kind of thing does not happen. And she said, of course, the operational mode had generally been that if the SDO needed something, he would talk to the mayor, to the titular mayor. He would not invite the chief deputy mayor, and he had never invited him in the past. And so therefore, this was not a normal summons. It was not something that falls, according to the norms. And so she knew that, this kind of situation is not the kind of thing that you just give people a kind of go. And then she said, worst of all, the context also warranted her and her team to come in with him preemptively because he had just made his comments. He had just made his position known about the elections after the October 12 elections, and he made clear that Issa Tchiroma Bakari had won the election, Paul Biya had lost, and that there was an electoral hold-up. And she said a lot of other people had lost their freedom, had lost their liberties by making such declarations, and so they were not ready to take any chances. The reason they had to accompany this young man to the SDO's office. Talking about that, There is a Southern Cameroonian. I mean, he is a police constable. He was serving in the Adamawa region. All he did was to say, oh, congratulations, Issa Tchiroma Bakari. That was all he did. Right up to this moment that I'm talking, no one knows where he is. He was exfiltrated, that he was, he was picked up, ferried to Yaoundé, where he's under detention and no one knows exactly where he is, where he's being held. That was his only crime. That he said, oh, congratulations, Issa Tchiroma Bakari. Several other people have found them, have found themselves in very challenging circumstances. They are even still there until now, simply because they said Issa Tchiroma Bakari had won. And so Nkom was not having any of this. So folks, this is the substance of what I wanted us to share at this moment, to see exactly how things have been going, and to note that these are the kind of actions that really justify the choice Issa Tchiroma Bakari made on Nkom. And just before I wrap up this broadcast, I just received a text here, a minute ago, that Nkom's home has already been surrounded. That this night, her home has been surrounded by heavily armed men. This is developing news, and so I will come back on this in the morning when I would have had, I should have had far more information. So we should be able to, address that. So thank you very much for your very kind attention. If you are not yet subscribed to the JMA Connections, please go ahead and do just that. And make sure you personalize the notification so that each time there's something here, you will be the first to know. And at the same time, do well too to share the link and share as much as possible. And take this one home, that power concedes nothing without a demand. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. So if anyone thinks that you can just sit and wait there and not resist the beer system, and not take measures, and not fight back as they're struggling to steal the will of the people, that someday they will just get out and give, no. That will not happen. So power concedes nothing without a demand. That demand here is resistance. Power never did before, and it will never do. Never. All you need to do, make sure you resist. Thank you very much once more for your very kind attention.
Mame logo butile, ago bute miami.